Talking about Tumblr in 2022 is kind of like putting your hand in a bowl of boiling water to simulate the feeling of going out into the sunlight. It doesn't work, but it sure does make you warm. This is a sequel to my last Tumblr ranking video where I did all of the most popular villagers, but today I wanted to do something a little bit different and try some new tiers because I missed a lot and I'm sorry. I truly should have added some more tiers and also some of my own tears from my eyes because I should have been crying more. We have all of the Animal Crossing NPCs, including some that I do not know why are here. I am truly shocked and flabbergasted at this list, but here we are, okay? This is what you get. We're going all out today, and I need you to get on your high horse, and I need you to understand that this had to be done at some point, okay? And we have a lot of tiers, once again, because I had so many good suggestions from you guys, and also some that I felt that I missed myself, so I will be adding them in today. Up top, we have probably the most important tier on this entire list. That's a lie, but you know what? I'm gonna go with it. It's Homestuck. I feel like saying Homestuck at this point is a fucking slur. At this point, Homestuck has ruined so many people's lives in such an insurmountable way, but you know what? I love it anyway. I loved the Tumblr Homestuck community. I really did. There were so many great fake posts that stemmed from it, thinking of the shock blanket one with the police officer. I love Homestuck. Everybody in there was batshit crazy, and we need to talk about it. Voltron and Steven Universe, I feel like I'm not even allowed to talk about. I don't even know why, but if you were there, you were there, but I can't describe this as I want to. I was not there. This was actually a little bit past my time, which is disgusting to say, actually. That is horrifying to say. Nothing should be past my time. I am like 3 years old at the most, okay? But it was a very interesting, very drama-filled fandom with a lot of hot takes that were illegal, to say the least. Anyway, I also respect and love you, Steven Universe and Voltron people who were completely and totally normal, because I know there were a lot of you, but there were some of you. Breast milk resin art. I don't know if this word is gonna get me demonetized, so if I end up blurring it out, you know what happened. It's exactly what it says on the tin. Sixpence Heels user. I don't know if this is more niche Tumblr lore or not, but Sixpence was a blogger who has had multiple scandals, in fact, and was called out for having a family that owned a child slave, I think, and also did this thing called Sixpence Heals where she offered therapy for people for $30 a month and was not a licensed therapist, and also she was a terrible person. Are there any people that did do that? Because I just wanted an interview, okay? I want to know who the hell DM'd Sixpence, alright? But not a single qualification. It was terrifying, and Sixpence scares me actively to this day. I wonder if one day I'm gonna look out my window and see them standing there. My Immortal author is a very special tier because I'm reserving it for one person, because I think there is only one true My Immortal author, and I have one person in mind for that. There will be only one person in this tier. There was an entire scandal about the writing of My Immortal where somebody claimed to be the writer of it and was actually completely lying about it and got exposed through Hamilton War fanfiction, so I don't even know what to tell you about that. Rabies core, yeah, people pretended to have rabies or pretended to want rabies, or maybe did want rabies. I don't know who was being serious and who wasn't, but that was an interesting thing. It was people posting about wanting to have rabies, wanting to get bit by something with rabies, wanting to give other people rabies. It was very rabies centric, and a lot of people really wanted it. Tradwife Tumblr is an interesting phenomenon. It's just basically like conservative woman Tumblr, which exists, by the way. I don't know how. Mostly like, I will follow his instructions. I will be his. I will be forever owned by my husband, and I will worship the Lord. Next, we have Onceler Blogger. This kind of encompasses the entire Tumblr sexy men phenomenon, but I don't know if to me the Onceler was just the ultimate Tumblr sexy man, or if that was just kind of how it was. The Onceler to me represents everything the Tumblr sexy man culture was. Ask blogs, really weird lewd art, people fetishizing characters that looked like the epitome of a stick. Chaos Spies is one of my favorites on this list because I feel like it's just so deeply insane that it's perfect for Tumblr. Like, it is really deeply perfect. Apparently in 2016, Russians were using Tumblr to post misinformation and had like some furry blogs. I don't know how to explain this, but it was a real reported news story. You can Google it, just search up Tumblr Russian spies. There will be a Yahoo article, there will be like an MSN article. It is real. I don't know fully what they were posting. I honestly don't fucking know because I was oblivious to this for a while. Brave, Rise of the Guardians, and How to Train Your Dragon was a collection of animated movies that were all somehow smushed into the same universe with ships and everything. There were constant wars. If you remember seeing any of those emo Merida edits, then you were involved in that, unfortunately. So those are all of our tiers today. As always, too many of them, but we really need to cover our bases. Okay, I don't want to do another one of these. I do, actually, I really do. But you know what? We're just gonna stick with this for now. Number one, we have Wilbur. Oh, good God. Wilbur gives off the vibes that he was very, very secretive about his Tumblr account, as should most people be. Wilbur terrifies me in the fact that I feel like he could be anything under that demeanor. He's got so little personality to him that I feel like he has to be hiding something big, and that's really interesting to me. He has definitely scammed somebody out of $20 and bought a pack of cigarettes with it, but didn't smoke them, just took pictures with them. And I feel like he would hunt me down and bite me in the neck if I put him in certain categories, so... Okay, Tradwife Tumblr. Let me explain. Wilbur was on the other side of Tradwife Tumblr, Trad Husband Tumblr, and I am accusing him of things. This is what I'm doing. I'm accusing people of things right now. I am trying to make accusations. Wilbur, I feel like you could be hiding something. I don't know. I'm just saying. Orville? Yeah. Okay, Voltron and Steven Universe. There is absolutely nothing else about it. He looks like an emoji to me. And the reason I'm putting him here is because I feel like he would definitely get mad at me for not knowing all of the gem fusions, but I think that we could get a good fight going. I think that Orville would definitely not understand how the blogging system works and start reblogging random porn thinking nobody's gonna see it. Flick. Listen to me, Onceler Blogger, okay? I can't do anything else here. I feel called by God to put him in Onceler Blogger, alright? I feel like he would have been one of those ass blogs that got a lot of attention, like a lot of attention. I have sent things to ass blogs before, and I remember a lot of them being run by like people who had to have a very certain personality type, and Flick has that personality type. And I will tell you right now, Flick is my favorite NPC, or at least one of my favorite NPCs, okay? And I need you to understand that I respect him for this. You know, I respect the grind. Everything he put into that blog was sacred. I think he was specifically doing it for the Onceler because he was very attracted to the Onceler, and I believe this wholeheartedly. And that's not slander. That is not me trying to bring him down. That is me being honest with him. You know, you can't run from your past forever, Flick, and I'm proud of you for getting out of that, but I am also a little bit terrified, and I want to know your ways. Not doing the pocket camp men. I'm just not. I just don't feel like it, so I'm not going to, okay? I don't know these birds. I don't know these people. I can't judge them without knowing them, and I don't know them, so we're moving on to Blanca. Obviously, Blanca was a chaos spy. Are you kidding me? Like, there's seriously nowhere else I could put him. Actually, I could definitely put her in breast milk resin art, but we're not gonna go with that. I believe that she was totally on there posting fake information, you know, leaving the scene after spreading misinformation. She would have one of those Twitter accounts now. She would have a Twitter account now that's like faking being My Chemical Romance or something and posting really weird random updates and saying that they're collabing with Weezer. You know, she would definitely start fights for no reason. I think that she would be a person who was joining the Sonic for Real Justice blog, even though she doesn't believe anything that they're doing. She just wants to cause problems, okay? She will put a threat in your Tumblr ass box, and then when you try to respond to it, she will come back on a different account saying she's so sorry you're being harassed. You're doing God's work. No, you're not. Stop doing this. Oh, wow, it's Blathers. See, the thing is, I know this man was probably in multiple subcultures. I feel like he could definitely be like even a part of the Super Hulock fandom, which is not on here, but if it was in my last video, I'd probably put him in there. I desperately need you to understand what I'm saying here, okay? Breast milk resin art, right? Do you see it? Please tell me you see it. I'm begging for you to see it. There is something so breast milk resin art about Blathers, and the reason I believe that is because I know full well that he's very into artsy avant-garde shit, but he was actually just putting like literal breast milk into resin and it was rotting in there, and he's really proud of it. He wants it to be in the Louvre. That's very weird, Blathers. Also, whose milk is that and where did you get it? I feel like it's Brewster's. I feel like it's Brewster's. You know, they were obviously fucking at one point, so I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, I wouldn't. Pigeon milk resin art? I need to stop. Anyway, Blathers is going in there. Booker! Do I have to explain myself? We all know the statistics, right? We're all aware of that statistic. 40% of all police officers are... Where else was I gonna put his ass? I'm sorry, but where else? Brewster. You know I just made an accusation towards him against the breast milk resin art tier, but the thing is, I don't think that he knows about that, and I think that he would definitely be in Rise of the Brave Tangled Dragons. He just gives me vibes that he's constantly reading Elsa x Jack Frost fanfiction, because Elsa was also in it at some point. I don't remember what that was about. I just know that he was on there reading and writing it. He was making edits. He was making bad boy edits, like the song by Cascada. I'm very curious as to if he was a Hiccup Rapunzel shipper or a Merida Hiccup shipper. I wish I was dead. Another bird, let's move on. Celeste. Oh my god, I know exactly where this woman is going, and I love her deeply. Celeste is going into Homestuck because you know she cosplayed as Vriska for her high school proms. Don't deny me this because I'm right, okay? She was in Andrew Hussey's DMs begging to go on a date with him, and we all just have to forget about it now, okay? We all just have to fucking forget about it now. Her claim to fame is that she was there from the beginning and she tried to gatekeep it, but it didn't work. And you know what? Fantastic. We even saw her read the epilogues. Is that Chip? Who fucking cares about Chip? Wait, I do. I care about Chip. You know why? Rabies core. Okay, this guy's out there eating raw fucking fish. I bet he would go out and look for a raccoon that had some pretty sharp teeth and wait to fucking foam at the mouth, start developing symptoms so that he could no longer treat it and die in the hospital because he wanted rabies so bad. I loved the rabies subculture because of just how much it was a kink. I think that he would be on that side of it, and that terrifies me. I hope he's getting the help he deserves, and that help is not from Sixpence, so I'm glad that I didn't have to put him in that tier. Chip is terrifying to me. This is CJ's father, and CJ has no idea that he's on rabies Tumblr, okay? CJ does not know about this. CJ is living blissfully unaware of his father's rabies Tumblr account, and he will one day find out and probably develop a new mental illness from it. Copper, just get the fuck over there. Oh, it's Cyrus. This is gonna be interesting. Okay, you know what? Sixpence Heels user, okay? I feel like he would really believe in Sixpence. He would believe that Sixpence was like a strong, independent woman and that he wanted to support her, and he was in fact literally just giving money to somebody who owned a child's life. Sixpence was so interesting in the fact that I have literally never seen somebody so bold and brazen about being a terrible person, and yet he was over there funneling money to sixpenceheels@gmail.com and waiting for a spot. He read all of the disclaimers and he was like, you know what, only a really, really good therapist would have to put so many disclaimers on their Tumblr post. Do you want the number for my therapist? I will give it to you. Can you stop doing this? I think he's still waiting for his email. Interesting motherfucker this guy is. I chose this tier list specifically because of this. I don't know why mom and dad are on here, but that made me laugh so much that I had to do it, so I'm gonna do it. All right, they are going to go on here. Apparently you only get the dad if you have like a male character or a male style character, whatever you want to say, because Animal Crossing is still weirdly gendered even though they removed the gender terms, which is weird to me. I don't know. Anyway, I never had a dad in Animal Crossing. I mean, I didn't have a real one either. Dad reminds me of a concept, of an enigma. Dad is the omniscient being in Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I think that he needs somewhere to be where he will be accepted for the god that he is. And there is only one place on this godforsaken website where you will be accepted for exactly what you are. Dad was a chaos spy. He was probably one of the furry blogs too that was spreading misinformation. I feel like that specifically, or maybe even a Harry Potter blog. I didn't include Harry Potter on here because I just don't want to talk about J.K. Rowling ever. I just don't want to keep her in your mind. I want her to float away into hell. But Dad is definitely a chaos spy. I feel like he probably has some kind of tie specifically to the government. I love that. You know what? Great. Fantastic. Digby. Digby is Isabel's brother, if you don't know. He was not around in New Horizons, but we're still gonna give him a nice hearty ranking, and by that I mean Digby wasn't Homestuck. I believe that he thought that Homestuck was a very specific brand of intellectual art because there were genuinely some people in the Homestuck fandom. They thought they were witnessing Shakespeare's birth out of the womb right in front of them. They thought that Andrew Hussey was gonna go on to get a Nobel Peace Prize in his lifetime, and I think Digby was specifically that. You know, he was like, if you don't understand Homestuck's importance, you are gonna be here after the rapture happens. And you know what? Good for you, Digby. I can't believe he made a career for himself. You know, he really got past that, but I think he's still the same stuck-up bitch, just about something else. DJ KK. Yeah, that's DJ KK, isn't it? DJ KK was a Onceler blogger, okay? Absolutely, but I'm saying Onceler blogger in the general sense here because he was not just any Tumblr sexy man. He was cosplaying as Slender Man. You were thinking I was gonna say Sans Undertale, weren't ya? Nope. I'm talking about the Slender Man himself, alright? KK Slider was pretending to be Slender Man and talking to human beings online. He was not fucking good at it. He was too busy trying to figure out HTML code to fix his Tumblr blog than to actually respond, so it would just be like, hi, yes, it's me, Slender Man. Sexy bitch. And I respect the drip, to be honest with you. I really do. I think that that's something that we all needed. We all needed someone to be bad at it because too many people were throwing themselves at the Onceler and Sans, and we needed somebody to counteract that, and DJ KK was there. And I think because he put so little of his time into it, he was truly able to move on and leave it in the past. Like, he only thinks about it once a year. It doesn't haunt him like it does Flick, but it does haunt him a little bit if you bring it up. If you say anything like, oh yeah, creepypasta, war flashbacks immediately. DJ KK, I know what you are. Don Rossetti. Why? Why did I immediately feel that? Like, it was a chill up my bones. Voltron and Steven Universe for Mr. Don Rossetti. He just gives me the vibes, okay? You know what? He has drawn smut of... What's that thing? Oh my god, I'm making such a fool of myself. I shouldn't have done this as a tier. Hold on. Garnet, because I knew this guy, alright? I said this was past my time, but I was still on Tumblr, I just wasn't actively involved in it, so I still saw stuff. This was an interesting era for me because I did almost consider getting off Tumblr. It was very insane. And I have seen things that no human being should ever see, and Don Rossetti created half of them. I have not stopped thinking about this man since I saw him for the first time. I will be quite honest with you, like, Farley is the most important character in Animal Crossing ever, and I hate Animal Crossing for not putting him in New Horizons. The fact that he was never in another game is absolutely, like, horrifically disgusting. It makes me angry every day. Like, this motherfucker is God. This is peak character design, just a little motherfucker in a hat. Perfect. Farley is everything to me, and I need you to understand that he has a very special place on Tumblr, and it's in Rabies Core. Okay, thank you. He is biting people. He thinks he already has rabies, okay? He's not trying to acquire rabies. He's not trying to fantasy post about getting rabies. He is actively dealing with the symptoms of rabies and is looking to bite people. He's like advertising like it's Tinder. He's like, anybody want to come get bit? Anybody want to start foaming at the mouth with me, baby? It'll take like 60 days to kick in, but we can do it if we try. It's like a Vampire Edward situation, but he's just giving everyone rabies before he eventually also dies from rabies. No, because I know exactly where his ass is going. Sorry. You cannot tell me he was not in the Voltron fandom. You cannot tell me that. Okay, he was that person who, like, but I feel like also he was able to conceal it really well. He was able to go on with his normal life instead of spending all day on Tumblr. He would just be like a freako at night, which I appreciate. I really respect that. I think that's the best way to live a life on Tumblr, is to just be a freak by night, be a normal person by day, and Franklin was very good at that, but he also probably had a really weird day job that we won't get into, and he was commissioning Voltron art for $20,000. We all know it. That's motherfucking frillard, right? I'm gonna put him in sixpence heels, let me explain. Because we all fucking know he wouldn't fall for that, right? Right? What I'm saying here is he would have done something exactly like that. He would have been the next Sixpence if that was allowed to happen, okay? He was an avid fan of the idea. He was watching it go down. He was like, this is the best scam in history. I need to write this shit down. He was studying Sixpence, but he was also trying to imitate Sixpence every single day. And I think that he has become a very broken man because of that. He did not recover from Tumblr, okay? A lot of these people I would say did recover from Tumblr. He did not, and it will kill him. This is interesting. Gracie is almost too good to be on Tumblr, but I feel like she was there. Gracie Grace, I love you, my dear. Gracie Grace, you would have been a chaos spy. You would have been with Blanca. You and Blanca would have been best friends and like considered mutuals on the site, and everybody would fawn over your friendship, and you would write fan fictions for one another on your birthdays, and it would be seen as one of Tumblr's best friendships, and then it would all fall down and be revealed that you were one of the chaos spies. And I think that's such a beautiful ending to that story. You know, it's really Cole Sprouse Tumblr experiment, and you would have been involved in that too if you weren't a spy. We all know that. Gracie likes havoc. Gracie Grace, you're killing it. Literally, you're killing the website. You almost got the entire website deleted, you motherfucker. Gulliver, breast milk resin art. Sorry, you tell me that he doesn't drink breast milk for fun. He was extremely interested, and he did buy one of the pendants, and he pretended to be a new expecting mom, and now he just has a breast milk pendant, and it's horrifying. And I hope that his crewmates continue to kick him off the ship until one day he hits his head and bleeds out in the ocean. I'm not doing the Kappas either, sorry. I've dealt with these people too many times, and they have no personalities, so I have nothing, alright? You know what, I'll do Cap'n, but I won't do these people. I apologize. Lloyd the Gyroid. Immediate rise of the Brave Tangled Dragons, okay? This guy was absolutely the first person to popularize making a Tumblr girl Merida edit. He was like photoshopping on the nerd glasses. Lloyd was absolutely a pillar figure of that community. He was known for making the first ever Jack Frost / Elsa animatic, and I'm very proud of him for that. And also, you ruined society. What the hell's up with that? You think Harriet was a Stucky? Because I kind of do. I do. I think Harriet was a Homestucky, okay? I feel like she really identified with Homestuck in a very personal way. Like, she used it as a crux for her mental illness for a while. Which, by the way, don't do that. She was holding on for dear life, and Homestuck was the only thing that was giving her light. She was probably the person who wrote the shock blanket fake post because she wanted to feel loved. You want to tell me to my face right now that fucking Harriet did not dress up as Aradia? I don't know. I only read it, okay? When I only read words, I will never know what the fuck they sound like in real life. I have never heard somebody pronounce that in real life, okay? I was chronically online. Ooh, Harvey's interesting. I feel like Harvey was absolutely in the Sixpence Heels user, and he really like kind of looked up to Frillard as a cult figure. I think that he was very, very deep involved in it. I feel like he was so horrific horrifically wanting help and reaching out for somebody. I bet he was in the comments of Miss Officer and Mr. Truffles defending people who were taking money. I bet he was one of the first people who celebrated when NSFW Tumblr art was banned. I think that Harvey was the anti-Tumblr user. Harvey gives me the vibes that he would fall for a scam immediately and he would not be on the side of the rest of the website. He is not jaded. He is not destroyed by the website. He is a fresh face who just thinks that everybody is an asshole on there. No, you gotta blend in, Harvey. You have a lot of work to do, okay? Leave me alone. Harvey probably reposted, "Do you love the color of the sky?" unironically. Isabel. Great news, everybody. The time has come. The time has come for that tier to no longer be empty, because I believe that Isabel is the real author of My Immortal. Isabel is Tara Gillespie. Isabel created Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway. And I need you to understand that I am not saying she was the fake My Immortal author who fucking decided that she was going to completely get destroyed by some Hamilton fic author, okay? This is the real My Immortal author. Actually, I'm gonna add one more person, okay, to this tier. You know what? Because I forgot something very deeply important. Raven or Willow. We need Raven. We don't have Raven here. So I need to find somebody to be Isabel's Raven. But like, listen to me, okay? Does it not make sense? Do you not get it? Do you not understand it? All right, listen to me.
Hi, my name is Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway, and I have long ebony black hair. That's how I got my name, with purple streaks and red tips that reach my mid back. And I see blue eyes like limpid tears. A lot of people tell me I look like Amy Lee.
You know what? I will never be able to make a worse video on this fucking channel because I just did that. Like, I didn't even do it out of the own conception of my mind. I just sat there and it came out, and I'm sorry. Jack. Well, I just had beef with Jack. I'm trying not to let that get into my headspace here. I don't want to rank him solely on that. However, it probably will leak into that. I'm gonna go ahead and say Chaos Spy. No. That's too giving. Rabies Corps. Do you not think that he would get rabies just to bite other people with rabies and say that they were his rabies minions and that he had a whole pack of wild, deranged wolf raccoon hybrids that he bred himself, and he's now like a rabies master and he was the only one to ever survive rabies, but he dies in the end. He actually dies, and that's why he wears a pumpkin on his head, because he's dead. He was a human man once, and then he got rabies because he was on rabies Tumblr, and then he gave it to millions of people, and now he's a pumpkin because he has to hide his decrepit corpse. That is my personal opinion and headcanon for Jack, and I hope that you like it. I hope that you hate it, actually, and I hope you unsubscribe from this channel right now. Jingle. He was over on the Rise of the Guardians side, and we all know where this is going. He based his entire personality on Twink Jack Frost from that movie, because he was probably not even a real reindeer before, but now he wanted to be the next Jack Frost. He wanted to be the next Tumblr sexy man, so he dressed up and he started going to work for Santa, or whatever kind of entity is in Animal Crossing to replicate whatever Santa is. Is Santa some kind of eldritch creature in Animal Crossing? We don't know. But all he got was a sack of bullshit, and that's why he's so underprepared, because he thought he would be worshipped. He thought he would be a god, and now he has to actually work, and he's sad about it. He's disgusted with it, and he cannot even keep up his cosplay vlog anymore, so it's just rotting. Joan. Joan was a homestucky. I don't know what else to say about that, alright? Can you not see it in her eyes? Joan was definitely one of the people who threw buckets at people during conventions, and I mean that with so much love. That's why she carries a bucket on her back full of turnips, so she can take the turnips out and throw the bucket at people, which is a fantastic use of your time, in my opinion. I don't think she was ever very active in the Tumblr scene of it, but she was very into Homestuck. She has a rotting username on there that's super good that everybody wanted at the time, but she never uses it. Caitlyn? So it was her own breast milk, thank you. Katie. Oh, Katie's like a baby, so I feel like we gotta put her in one of the baby categories. Like, she would not be in the Chaos Spies category, definitely not the Onceler either, because that's more of a seasoned baby. Voltron Steven universe, absolutely, because she was young enough to be the perfect age to start getting on Tumblr when that era was going on. Love you. We're all proud of you. And I think she still likes it to this day, but she likes it in the sense that she appreciates the work and not the fandom, you know? Katrina. I just figured it out. This is Raven. These two are Tara and Raven. 100%. She would absolutely pick the name Willow for her character too. Like, that is such a Katrina thing to do. Kix was a Onceler blogger. Kix was a fucking Onceler blogger, and we both know it. Have you ever seen somebody that looks more like they would care about Sans Undertale than this man? Alright, he may look a little bit silly and a little bit goofy, but on the inside, he was giving his entire all to this performance. He was coding his blog to look like the Oncelers had, and he was into Oncest. Should I never talk again? Kix gives off the vibes that he was very defensive of this as well. He thought that this was a good idea. He was open about it, and he was not bullied for it as much as he should have been. Thank you, Kix. Cap'n, go fuck yourself. Chaos Spy, we all know it, he's working for the other side. I don't know why both DJ KK and regular KK are on here, but I'm gonna say that DJ KK and regular KK are two separate entities, and there is a reason for this, because KK himself was in the Homestuck tier. Absolutely, okay? Abso-fucking-lutely. That's John Egbert right there. Have you ever seen somebody that just embodies the main character but boring energy? That is KK. He is such the main character of Animal Crossing, and yet he has nothing to give. He has nothing to show for it. And that is why he identifies so deeply with MS Paint Adventures. Because nobody fucking cared. Label, I don't know why. I will tell you right now, I understand the fact that her entire character is like, I moved off to be on my own, but I think that is all a cover-up. I think it's all a cover-up for the fact that she is big on Tradwife Tumblr, and she doesn't even have like a husband to do it. She just likes role-playing that character. She's so deep and intense into this fake fantasy that she's made up, and I think that's part of why she was shunned from the Able Sisters, because it got called out that she was stealing money for people to make wedding plans for them that included no touching and celibacy vows. This is an insane video, and I hope it never gets published. Anyway, Leaf is Rise of the Brave Tangled Dragons. Absolutely, 100%. I feel like he was also involved in like that side of Tumblr that was really aesthetic based as well. I feel like he was posting more aesthetic edits and that kind of thing instead of actually working on character development. He was trying to make a pretty blog. He wanted a blog that would stand out and look beautiful. He would get followers via the fact that he was posting these expert collages of like Rapunzel shittily edited onto Jack Frost. I thought this was Lloyd, and apparently this is Lloyd, but whatever, I'm not gonna fix it. Anyway, Lottie. See, I don't know where to put her, because I was just flirting with this woman, and it feels deeply wrong of me to put her in this category if I was just flirting with her. But I feel like she's changed. You know, she's a changed woman now, and I have to stop judging these people by their past, so I'm gonna say that she has moved on and she's doing better now, but she was once a breast milk resin artist, and I believe that wholeheartedly. I think she had good intentions. I really do. I think she had good intentions with this. She thought she was preserving things in a beautiful art without noticing that breast milk will in fact still be breast milk in resin. I think she tried her best, and it didn't work. It just didn't work, and so she moved on and she realized what was a little bit weird about it, and now she's doing better. Luna. Luna's an interesting case study in my opinion. Luna's interesting because I feel like she probably would fit best in like the toxic girl category, but that was our last video. So I think that maybe Luna would possibly be on the rabies core side of the website, but I think she would be using it as a joke. I think that rabies core Luna would be a person who was doing it ironically, because that was also part of it. Not everybody genuinely wanted to have rabies. These three did, but she didn't. She was in on the joke, and she didn't know that other people weren't in on the joke, and she was in this community posting every day like, God, wish I had some animal fangs in my neck right now, wish I was foaming from the mouth, wish I was sweating profusely and throwing up. She was just getting in on the joke, and she had no idea that this was actually a problem. Mabel, once-er blogger, but on the fan side, okay? Specifically the fan side of it. She was the one asking all of the ass blogs, okay? She had a fantasy of her and the Onceler like taking out the Lorax with a knife and cutting him up. It was very interesting. I feel like she definitely thought of both like the Onceler and the emo boy version of the Onceler. I forget what his name was. I forget what they fucking called him. But the other side of Oncest is what I'm talking about. I don't care. You know what? I just don't care anymore. I'm good. I'm going away. If you were there, you know who he is, okay? I'm blanking on the name and I just don't want to look anymore. Mom. No, not after that. Oh my god, this is a train wreck. Mom was probably with Dad in the Chaos Spies, I believe. Just a partnership in crime, and I love that. But now they're divorced because Mom actually left the Chaos Spies after 2016, and I think that now she's like a recovering person. She's just on Tumblr normally. She's living the dream, maybe has a study blur blog. I think that she is left. Lyle can go to fucking hell, but he was a Sixpence Heels user because he is very extremely lost in his life and doesn't know where he's going next. He understands that there is no heaven or hell, but he does not understand that there is no purgatory because he thinks he will be going to purgatory after he dies. He's an insurance salesman and he knows, honest to God, that he cannot afford to give Sixpence any money, but he is begging. He is on his last legs to figure out something that works and that will save him from the devil. Nat was Voltron in Steven Universe. He was very interested in Steven Universe in a fundamental way, but he did not understand the fandom as a whole. CJ? Hey, let me fucking explain. Don't click off. Don't get mad at me. Don't start writing your little typey comment because I'm gonna explain. I'm putting CJ in Tradwife because he made a fake Tradwife blog, ironically, but he's doing it in a way that it looks almost realistic, so he has amassed a good amount of like actual Tradwife followers, and every day he comes home to Flick and says, oh my god, you would not believe what is going on Tumblr right now. And I think Flick would find it very funny. I think it would be perfect. Flick and CJ forever. CJ's joke Tradwife blog forever. Long live the gays. Pascal is the weed smoking girlfriend, but we're gonna move on from that. I feel like rabies core would be the very obvious answer, which is why I'm gonna put in there. You know what? Fuck you. I don't care. Can you not tell me that he thinks it would be some kind of LSD trip to get rabies? He thinks he would meet like a higher power from it. I think that he wants rabies to meet like God or something, or meet like the seventh eye on his head. I think that he specifically wants rabies for enlightenment, and he doesn't want it for a sexual aspect or anything. He is very anti that, but he is serious about it, and he wants to like document it like he's taking his first trip on magic mushrooms. Very important addition to the community, Pascal. Thank you for your time. Pave. He wanted to fuck the Onceler so bad. Do I need to say anything else? Genuinely, do I? This video is long enough already. Do I need to fucking say anything else? I don't need to explain that one. Poor fucking Pelly, who was on Sixpence Heels. She literally typed out her childhood trauma into Sixpence's inbox, and they never replied and just took her money, okay? It was all that. It was every single detail. It was every single time somebody had ever wronged her and the first time she ever saw tits on the internet, okay? Pelly is very traumatized from this, and she was looking for help, and Sixpence did not give it. I don't think she was ever a fan of Sixpence. I think the sheer amount of her not knowing who they were allowed her to reach out like that. I do whatever I want, okay? I fucking do whatever I want. I'm sorry that this tier list is so confusing, because I am literally just skipping over people when I feel like it's right. Anyway, Red, listen to me. He was one of the people who went after Wet Pumpkin during that entire game thing. Like, he was one of the people who was on Sarah Z's side when that whole thing is going down. Like, he is still heavily involved in that, in my opinion. He was on the front lines. I think Red would defend Vriska with his fucking life, because there was such a love-hate relationship with Vriska, if you didn't know. That's why I bring her up so much. I think that he would be defending her with his fucking life, and he would make sure that nobody is writing straight fanfiction about gay characters. That would be his entire life goal for Homestuck. And I feel like that is because he is in an intimate relationship with Tom Nook, but whatever, it's fine. He would dye himself with Sharpies. He is the one person who would. Breast milk resin art, absolutely, but she would be trying to turn a profit from it. She would be trying to like business mogul it, you know? She would be trying to Elon Musk it, where she turns everything into some kind of disgusting money suck cash grab like he's doing to Twitter right now. But if you're hearing this, Elon, don't ban me from Twitter, please. I have followers on Twitter. Reese was in Rise of the Brave Tangled Dragons because she felt like Rapunzel and being a Disney adult was her only path in life, and she is a Disney adult. She did it. She accomplished it. It was something that she got to. It was a goal that she reached. She currently goes to Disney every single month and has a year pass that cost her entire mortgage, but it's fine. She was also deeply into Harry Potter, deeply into the non-gay side of Harry Potter, because she's obviously the token straight here. She was the token straight on Tumblr, and that's where the Disney adults came in a lot of the time. But I cannot overlook the fact that she has just dropped $400 on a Swarovski crystal from Walt Disney himself. Rossetti, Rabies Core, fucking obviously, there's nothing else here. Okay, this guy was actively the starter of Rabies Core. He was the first post on there, and everybody started following suit. He could also probably be on Pet Clown Tumblr, I would say. I don't know why I just slurred my words so much with that, but he would be on Pet Clown Tumblr. Clown Husbandry, is that what it's called? He would be feeding the clowns on there for sure, 100%. Thank you, Rossetti, for keeping all of our clowns healthy and making sure that they are bred correctly. Rover, where the fuck else? Do you remember, like, I feel like these communities were kind of intertwined, so that's why I'm bringing him here, but I'm going to talk about this. Do you remember the Miku binder? He reblogged that. He was actively in that side of Tumblr that was an amalgamation of like Hamilton, Dear Evan Hansen, Steven Universe, Voltron, Sable, my beloved, my baby, oh my god. Onceler blogger. Okay, she was never allowed to express herself. She never had any time to put her personality into things, so she had to take it to Tumblr and start a blog cosplaying as the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared clock. And he is a Tumblr sexy man, okay? You can Google it, and he is a Tumblr sexy man. He's on the wiki, I believe. So you know what? It counts, all right? It counts. And I believe wholeheartedly she thought that that guy was actually sexy. She was happy, and I respect her for that. That's why I don't think it was cringy that she was this Glock, all right? She was trying to take care of herself, and this was the only way she could. Sahara. Huh. I don't know. Yeah, that seems right. Rise of the Brave Tangled Dragons. She was one of the only Brave stans because Brave was really like cut out even though it was in the main name. Like Elsa was more involved in this fandom than Merida was. I'm still skipping people randomly. This is a Tumblr video, what do you expect? Obviously Shrunk is going into Sixpence Heels user. He was pulling up for Frillard. Frillard was Sixpence. He was absolutely 100% there for Frillard. He was the one person giving success stories for Frillard. Frillard saved his life, you know? Sixpence does actually heal. Frillard bought me medication. Frillard fixed my trauma. Frillard did CBT with me, not the other thing, the mental health term. Timmy and Tommy. Voltron Steven Universe, they were best friends with Katie, and they all had a joint blog where they posted the same exact fan art every day, but with different shading on it that they traced from DeviantArt. Katie and Timmy and Tommy will one day be regaled as one of the few groups of people who didn't get completely fucked up by Tumblr. And I think that that's very important. You have to have a couple sample control groups where Tumblr did not fail them. Tom Nook was a Onceler blogger not because he liked the fucking Onceler, because he wanted attention so bad, because he wanted people to come up to him and say he was loved, to say that they wanted him. Tom Nook did not care one fucking bit about the Onceler. All he cared was finally getting someone to give him attention and to love him, and it didn't work. No, it didn't, because eventually people realized that he was just trying to get attention and they let him go. They left him for another person who was better at cosplaying the Onceler. If you die there, you die there. Tortimer Breast Milk Resin Art, he is in fact getting a tooth replaced with a breast milk tooth. Wisp. Wisp is a chaos spy for sure, absolutely. Does he not exist to cause havoc? Does he not fucking exist to cause havoc? Like, that's all I have for you. He has caused me nothing but drought and pain in my life, and I know that he was doing that to influence the 2016 election, okay? He was a shitbag. I hate you, Wisp, okay? I don't care. I love ghosts. I think the ghost aesthetic is fantastic. I love Halloween. This guy fucked it all up for me. He was the chaos spy with the blog that was probably focused mainly on, like, cooking or something so innocuous that it looked weird on Tumblr, and that's why nobody believed him. Nobody thought he was doing a good job. That's how the Tumblr spy thing came out, in fact, because he was doing such a bad job at it. I know this isn't last but not least, and there's things here, but I'm never gonna rank them. Zipper trad wife, but he was actually the trad wife, okay? Zipper was a trad wife. He is currently fighting with a gay person on Tumblr right now about whose space it is, and he will never stop. When he gets out of his bunny costume at the end of Bunny Day, he goes back to his usual trad wife thing and has a Bible verse tattooed on his arm, but like in cursive. And I will explain to you that, like, you might be thinking chaos spy or even Onceler blogger. No, trad wife Tumblr, conservative Tumblr. That is all the Animal Crossing NPCs as Tumblr users. Thank you for sticking around to see part 2. If you were one of the people who suggested these tiers, thank you very much for doing so. I appreciate it. Also, please go stream My Immortal today. Stay safe, stay wonderful. Have a good day. Good. Bye.